CinePals.
Okay, the official Fallout trailer is here. Let's jump into this and look at it together. Here we go.
Hello there. I'm here to show you a wonderful place. A veritable Camelot of the nuclear age. Not made by God Almighty, but the working man. You can be a hero by purchasing a residence in a Vault-Tec vault today. Because if the worst should happen tomorrow, the world is going to need you to build a better day after.
God dang.
The mission of the vaults should be important to everyone. To come up to the surface one day and restart civilization. Can you tell me what's happened in the last 200 years?
Holy shit. You're an actual vault dweller.
I am.
I thought all you dipshits were dead.
What you're doing is insane.
I don't set the world
It isn't like the vault out there. It's big.
fire.
This world building is so cool, man. I'm really enjoying this so far.
I've had a rough week. Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me.
I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
Ugh. Oh, no bueno.
You need to go home. You come from a world of rules, of laws.
You should not be alone.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
To hurt the people who hurt me?
People are going to come after you.
Ain't much stays clean up here, Volty. Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs. You look out at this wasteland, looks like chaos, but there's always somebody behind the wheel.
Oh.
What is happening here?
Everyone wants to save the world, they just disagree on how.
There you are, you little killer.
Yo, can we just take a second to admire just the scope of this thing? It feels like they spent their money well on this. Let's backtrack a little bit, shall we? I don't know how complicated it is to do it at this day and age, but like it got me when I saw the big... You'll have to forgive me because I don't know all the terms and whatnot from Fallout of these characters and their ships and what have you, so I'm going to do my best to just kind of navigate these waters. But as soon as you saw this ship in the sky, ominous looking ship carrying what I imagine are bad guys. It was a dope shot, dude. Jonathan Nolan... He knows his shit. I was just talking with Achara Kirk the other day about how when you say Nolan, automatically everyone thinks Christopher Nolan. They don't really think of Jonathan Nolan. And it's like, maybe that'll change. Like, if you say Nolan, which Nolan are you referring to? This one? You know what I mean? I really appreciate just the level of detail that's gone into this. Having just watched Avatar, The Last Airbender on Netflix, one of the big complaints that I think a lot of people had was just how, like, it didn't feel as lived in as it could be. And it's because a lot of it was shot on the volume, which I'm not getting the sense of here. This feels like you're actually there. You're actually in these environments. You're on these locations. And so it feels like a real world brought to life. It's super cool. Okay, these are the guys I was talking about. There, this shot right here. That's dope. I don't know how much easier this is to do now than it was like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, but this looks so cool to me. You know, it's just the setup of these guys. It's really scary. And you're already kind of getting the sense as to how these kinds of characters get roped into this situation. Kind of like a Finn from Star Wars Episode 7, 8, and 9. He got roped into this for reasons, and he might be turned to the good side as the story progresses. This guy is obviously, I forgot the name of the actor. They showed him right at the beginning with the little tease. He's a famous actor whose name I can't remember. He's one of those guys where you're like, oh, it's that guy. Walton Goggins. He plays the ghoul. They don't bury that lead. Like, you know it's him almost right away. He put a hole in that dude that was like, you could see it when the guy hit the fence. I was like, God damn. He is fixing to be the most interesting character in the show, because he knows both sides. Presumably, he's going to kind of lead Ella Purnell, who plays Lucy. I just looked at the IMDb. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to blur out information that you guys should not see. Walter Goggins just seems like he's going to be the most interesting character in the show so far, at a glance. The monster creatures that we're seeing so far, let's take a look at that again. The bear just seems like a bear to me. I mean, I don't know if it's like actually, I don't know. Yeah, I initially just kind of looked like a bear, but that's a huge bear. The creature work in this looks pretty cool so far, right? Look at that. Like, what the hell? That feels like, okay, that feels like a Fallout creature. You know, from what little I played of it, I'm like, that feels like Fallout to me. It looks insane. The interesting thing about that creature is it doesn't actually look like CG to me. It looks like a practical, almost like Little Shop of Horrors. Like, it looks like they actually made this thing. I can't tell for sure, but it looks really good. This trailer demonstrates a lot less of that irreverent tone that we got with the teaser. It's way more towards the seriousness of this show. You see them together, working together. They shouldn't have shown that yet. Even though you kind of know it, even though you know it's coming, they shouldn't have shown this yet. While it's probably predictable that they're going to end up working together, like, just let us discover that. You know what I mean? Anyway, what I was saying was this ad got away from the irreverent tone in favor of more of the serious tone, in favor of more of like the dramatic elements of this show, which I think is probably a good move, because then it feels like you're getting something totally different, even if you're showing the same footage. I can imagine that you're going to get both in this show. It's going to be both discomforting comedy and also the discomforting drama at the same time. So I have a question that is not directly related to the trailer, but it is related to Fallout, the game. Like I said, I played Fallout a long time ago. Lately, I've been heavily invested in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've put in well over 40 hours, admittedly. I know that's nothing to some of you, but for me, that's a lot. One of the things I've been encountering that's been frustrating me, that I feel like is something you do experience in Fallout, is when you go and explore somewhere, just, you know, either for the sake of the story or because you're curious, you end up encountering guys who are at an XP way above yours. Like, I'm at a 27 and they're at a 37. It takes me forever to cut them down because they're at a 37. And sometimes it's so absurdly difficult that it's just like, it's not even worth trying. And the game is basically encouraging you to go grind on some other shit for a while, just so you can come back to this thing that you're actually interested in. And it almost feels like it's discouraging exploration. It's like, why, you gotta grind before you explore. That's what it feels like sometimes. And it just drives me nuts. And I needed to get that off my chest. There's no one in my circle playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Fallout that I can really talk to about this. So I'm like, I just want to know from you guys how you feel about that. Like, when you go off and explore, it's like, it's one thing to come up against like a giant, right? Like those kinds of things. That's nuts. I played a little bit of Skyrim and I immediately got destroyed by like some dragon I encountered that I went somewhere I shouldn't have. Okay, I'll take that on the chin. But I'm just dealing with some like regular soldiers and they're at a 40 XP and I'm at a 25. And I'm like, all right, cool, well, fine. Let me headshot. Let me do an assassin kill. None of that shit does anything. I would love to know from you guys how you feel about that. Do you like that point system? Because I remember a long time ago playing Fallout 3, and I shot this bandit in an abandoned warehouse or something. Headshot, perfect headshot. And it's like, minus 20. And I'm like, what? I was a headshot. Why isn't he dead? So anyway, that's my feeling. I wanted to know from you guys how you felt about that stuff.